In this video, I'll be discussing a question that most of you had, that is how to structure an answer of a problem question. So there is a method that you can use and you can follow when you're writing answers for problem questions that is known as the IRAC method. So this is a method that we use for legal problem solving in any type of law. It could be for contract law, criminal law, tort law, or any type of problem question that you get in law. You can use the IRAC method as the structure for your answer. So let's see what this IRAC method is. So I stands for issue, which means you have to identify the key legal problem or the issue at hand, which will be the foundation of your analysis. And second, you have to determine the relevant rules, laws, and judicial precedent that is applicable to your issue. And thirdly, A stands for application, where you have to apply the determined laws and regulations into the facts in the given question. And finally, you have to come to a conclusion, which will be the final determination based on your analysis. Let's discuss these four elements in depth. So the first step in the IRAC method is identifying the core issue. This is a crucial step when answering problem-based questions, where you have to read the question thoroughly and identify the issue at hand and try to find a solution for that issue. So for example, if we take a contract law question where you are required to find whether there is a legally binding contract, you have to find which elements of a valid contract are at issue, whether it's offer and acceptance, consideration, or whether it's the capacity of the parties to enter into legal relations. Likewise, you have to pinpoint the issue in the particular question. And after that, you can move on to the second step, that is identifying the rules applicable. So there you have to involve a thorough research onto the laws and regulations and also judicial precedents which are applicable to this specific question. And when you're stating the rules, you have to give a comprehensive overview of the rules, and you don't have to come to conclusions. You just explain what the law is and what are the applicable case laws. And then you can move on to the next stage where you apply those rules to the facts. So here what you do is you use the rules that you identify and apply it to the given facts of the problem question. So here you will have to engage in deep critical thinking to explain how the rules apply to the facts, and then you may have to compare and contrast the facts of the question with previous case laws. Sometimes you'll be able to distinguish two cases, or sometimes you may have to follow a decision in an earlier case which is so similar to the current problem given. So likewise, you have to apply the rules, compare and contrast, and come to the final stage, that is the conclusion. So in conclusion stage, you have to state the most probable outcome based on your analysis. And remember, your conclusion should be clear, concise, and well supported with laws and case laws. And also when you're drafting the conclusion, do not use vague and ambiguous words, but you should use like definitive phrasing, such as the contract between the plaintiff and defendant is void. Or you can say there is no legally valid contract. So like that, come to definite conclusions without making your conclusion ambiguous. And also there can be situations where the provided information is not sufficient to reach a definite conclusion. If that is the case, acknowledge that and explain the factors that would impact the final outcome. But in most of the cases that you get, you will be able to come to a definite conclusion. So it is up to you to consider the applicable rules, apply it to the facts, and come to a conclusion. So what we discussed under the IRAC method is known as the horizontal approach to legal problem solving, which means first you give an explanation about the applicable law, and then you apply it to the facts in the given question. So you're first given a comprehensive overview of the law, and thereafter, as the second step, you're applying the law to the given question. That is a horizontal approach. But the traditional approach to answering legal questions is the vertical approach. What we do here is we take each aspect of law in turn, explain that, apply the law to the problem, and come to a conclusion. And like that, we develop the answer one by one. To give you an example, if you have not watched my previous video where I discussed a model question on contract law, please refer to that where I have followed the vertical approach. So there I take each incident inside the question, apply the law to that, and then come to a conclusion. So to make it more clear for you, I'll take an example from contract law. So if the issue at hand is whether a display of goods in a shop window is an offer or an invitation to treat, I will first explain what is an offer, what is an invitation to treat, and then apply that law to the given facts of the case and come to the conclusion whether this is an offer or an invitation to treat. So that is the first situation. And then I'll go to the second situation and explain what is an acceptance, what is the law on acceptance, and apply that to the given facts and come to the conclusion whether there is acceptance or not. So you can see I'm taking each incident in turn and applying the law, explaining the law and applying the law and coming to a conclusion. So that is the vertical approach. But the same question, if you use the horizontal approach, what you have to do is explain what is offer, what is invitation to treat, what is acceptance. You first explain all the laws that are applicable, and then you apply that to the facts. So it is up to you to follow the horizontal or the vertical approach. It does not matter at all which approach that you follow. Just try to write an answer and see which one is more comfortable to you, and then you can follow that. So to summarize what we discussed under the IRAC method, first step is identifying the issue. Second step is identifying the rules applicable. When you say rules, you have to also identify the case laws that are applicable. And third step is applying those laws to the given facts. And finally, coming to a conclusion. So I hope you got a clear understanding as to how you can structure a problem-based question. If you still have any questions, you can put them in the comment section, or you can send an email to the email address that I will put in the description box. Thank you.